God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God.
No question about that. John Morosi's with us on Steve Gorman.
Your key to financial opportunity.
In the country, it began as an apparent robbery in a Kansas town. It ended up in a bloody shooting spree stretching all across the northwestern part of the state. By the time it was over, 4 people were dead, and ABC's Al Dale was in Kansas.
The trail of violence began at a roadside restaurant on Interstate 70 near the West Kansas town of Greenfield. The restaurant manager was found shot to death late yesterday, apparently during a robbery. An area-wide alert was sounded, and just a few miles west between Greenfield and Colby, a county undersheriff stopped a speeding Pontiac with 4 people in it. He asked the suspects to come out and put up their hands. Instead, they shot him several times through the windshield. The officer survived and radioed a description of the car and its occupants. They continued west, getting off the interstate at Levant, apparently to ditch their car and get another. They chose an isolated grain elevator company. When they got to the grain elevator company, they shot through the window, wounding the office manager. Then they took 2 men hostage and left in a pickup truck. The bodies of the hostages were found about a mile north. Both had been shot in the face. One of the slain men was 55-year-old Glenn Moore, who lived in this house in Colby. Today, his wife and children were not only mourning, but angry.
This makes me very angry that this has happened to my loved one. And these kids that just took my husband and killed him, murdered him, dumped him out the side of the road, I understand. And, I mean, he'd done nothing wrong.
It's totally innocent. He was there and...
He was, my husband, we worked with grain elevators, and my husband was on the job, doing his job to this elevator. And they just come up and threw my husband in the pickup and left. And took him, and then they killed him along the road. And I'm just angry.
Law officers trailed the assailants to an unoccupied farmhouse and surrounded it. A shootout erupted and one of the suspects was killed. 2 others were wounded. The 3 survivors were taken to jail in Colby, a town of 5,000. Friends and neighbors of the local victims want swift justice.
I think they ought to hang them or something like that.
Well, I wish they'd just called me and let me have my rifle and go after them.
Authorities say the 3 surviving suspects will be charged with murder and kidnapping. Al Dale, ABC News, Colby, Kansas.